I'm going to talk about once an instance that happened to me when I was a little bitty kid on my dad's farm. I think I mentioned earlier about we had about 3 different lakes on the farm besides White Rock Creek that run through it. And I remember during one summer it had gotten real dry, and the water had gotten real low, and there was a tree that had fell across what we called Horseshoe Lake. And of course, when I say a lake, it ain't really no lake. It's just what used to be the White Rock Creek's channel, which the city come through there and straightened that thing out, and it left a little place there where water stayed all the time. But then during the summer, sometimes the water would dry up, and there was a tree that had fell across that water, and you could walk out on that tree, and the water had gotten so low that the fish and things that were in that thing, their top of their body was showing above the water, and my brother and my brother and me were down there. Seemed to me like there was somebody else with us. It might have been my cousin. I'm not sure. It might have been my cousin Joe Murray, but Buster, which is what we call my brother. Him and me, we'd walk out on this tree that was laying across that water, and we'd pick those fish up out of that thing and throw them up on the bank. We were going to go have us a fish fry. But I grabbed one, and lo and behold, it weren't no fish. It was a cottonmouth water moccasin snake, and he bit me on the end of the finger. And my brother took and he started sucking on my finger and spitting the blood out. And I'll tell you, from that point on, for the next hour, it was the wildest thing you ever seen in your life. I probably come close to dying, but I got to tell you, everybody's running around like the Keystone Cops. I mean to tell you, it was like it was a Chinese fire drill. My brother picked me up. I was just a little tight, and he was about 8 years older than me. So gosh, when I was about, Lord mercy, when I was about 8 years old, God, he was probably 17, 18 years old. He's a pretty big boy. And he picked me up, and I mean, a lot of this stuff now I'm telling you was told to me later, because I don't remember what was going on. I was scared to death. I mean, boy, when you get bit by a cottonmouth water moccasin down in our part of the country, that's usually the end gate. You know what I mean? And I wasn't very big, I was just an old kid, so it wasn't going to take much of that venom to do me in. But boy, everybody was running this way and that way, and my brother picked. Now a lot of this they're telling me about, because I don't remember none of it. I was scared to death. I mean, I figured I can't hardly remember back, to be honest with you. A lot of this stuff I'm telling you was told to me, because I don't remember much of it, But because I was really too scared, to say anything. I wasn't going to talk too much, but anyway, this is what I'm telling you is what was told to me, and they ran, and of course it's on the farm out there, and lucky for me, they run up to the dairy barn. I lived on a milk farm, my dad had a dairy farm. And anyway, they ran up to the milk house, and sure enough, my daddy happened to be up there, and oh my God, he got all bent out. But what I'm telling you now is what they're telling me. They say he was running into walls, and he got me, and he threw me in the back seat of the car, and everybody, the brothers, and I don't know if my cousin went or not, but they say my dad took off. He run over a fence trying to get out of the place. I don't guess I should be laughing because, I probably was bound to die there with cottonmouth water mosquitoes out on the farm. Boy, there ain't no doctor real close. Anyway, Lord have mercy. They got down to, they left the farm, got over into Dallas, and my dad, he was driving 90 miles an hour. They say faster than that old Dodge car that he had would go. He finally found Parkland Hospital. You folks will probably remember Parkland Hospital since Kennedy. That's where they took him when he got shot. But this is 30, 40 years before that, But anyway, he blew a tire when he got out there close to Parkland Hospital. I think it was about maybe turning into the place or something. He run over the curb and blew a tire. And they were coming into the hospital going fast as that old car would go with a blown tire, but they finally got me into the place, and I don't remember none of this. This is what was told to me, Anyway, they did whatever they gonna do there at the hospital, and I don't know why. I don't know how come they let me go home. I don't know if they kept me there for a while or what, but the only thing I remember about that incident was when I was back home, my mother had me in a great big old wash tub, and man, I'm telling you, I had whelps all over me. I mean, my eyes were almost shut. I remember that, cause boy, I was red. My skin broke out in whelps. I mean, my whole body was nothing but one big whelp, one big red whelp. How come I remember that? I don't know. But I remember I itched all over. I mean, I don't know how you scratch something when it's all over you. I mean, even my fingers itched, And then my mother I was sitting in this tub with this calamine lotion. If I remember right, I could be wrong there, but it seemed to me like it was calamine lotion. Anyway, I survived. That probably had a lot to do with why I got a lot of sense now. maybe that old snake bite, bit me on the finger. I guess, I don't know. Maybe they should have cut my finger off. Maybe I wouldn't be so nuts now. I don't know. But anyway, that's just something that I thought everybody might get a kick out of. And if you're gonna listen to anything I got to say, you got to bear in mind. I just barely made it. I don't remember how old I was. I'd had to have been old enough to be walking around and, be able to crawl out on a tree and try to pick a fish up in a dried up pond, But I can't, from what everybody talks about since I survived, everybody talks about how funny it was. And my dad, he just come unglued, boy. I mean, my dad was when he's driving the car, he's really very, very, very mindful of the laws and things, or at least they said. All that stuff that they're telling me is what I've heard. I don't know nothing. See, I don't even remember getting a snake bite, or whatever you want to call it. But they've telling me about it. And how funny it was that after it was over with and I survived, it was funny. But at the time, they didn't think it was funny. They were falling all over themselves trying to get me to the hospital. Because the cottonmouth water mosquito's a dangerous snake. He's of course I don't know anything about snakes. I don't know if he's more dangerous or less dangerous than a rattler, a rattlesnake or not. I don't know. There's some snakes that are not poisonous, but a cottonmouth water mosquito is. And we don't. Anyway, my dad was falling all over himself trying to get me to the hospital. I was just a little tight. I was kind of little for my age when I was young. I didn't really grow up until I got in the Marine Corps. Man, I mean, when I got in the Marine Corps, it was like I had somebody jabbed me with some kind of serum or something. I got, when I went in the Marine Corps, I probably wouldn't weigh 150, 60 pounds, and I came out, I weighed about 220, you know. I grew another foot in height and everything. I don't know, boy, as far as getting physically, I grew like a sprout or something. You know, I just come busting through the ground, boy. You know? Oh Lordy, I don't know. World's kind of a strange place. Some people grow up real fast. Others, I don't know. Mine was kind of hindered there for a while. Cause I was a little bitty feller. I mean, I wasn't very big. In fact, the business, I'm gonna have to tell the truth. I really felt like that my dad was kind of disappointed when I was born. You see, my mother was a what do you call it, Norwegian, and you know, they called the old Vikings. You know, the Norwegians are usually great big people. I know all my uncles was on my mother's side. Lord have mercy. I could tell you a story about old Chris, which is one of my uncles. I don't know if I ever told that story before or not, but of all things, this guy was 6'6", probably weighed 275, 80, 300 pounds, but he wasn't fat. He was just big, man. One of them old big Vikings, you know, the Norwegians. Anyway, my brother was a pretty big guy, and my dad wasn't. My dad was about average guy, but I kind of got the feeling through the years that he was hoping that I'd be one of them big Norwegian guys, you know, because we was down living on a farm. You know, I got to stay. I'm sorry. Man, when I get to sneezing, oh boy. Well, I'm sorry about that. Ain't nothing I can do about it. When you get to be 84 years old, you're going to have them attacks too. Oh, well, I'm still alive. But that happens every once in a while. It kind of makes me mad that it happened while I was trying to talk, you know. But there ain't nothing I can do about it. I'm lucky to be able to, I mean, after being around, you know, when you get to be 84 years old, now a lot of people live to be 90. I say a lot. I go sneezing again. Darn, oh man, oh, Lordy. I don't know. I don't know if I can finish. Let me quit this thing.